Welcome back to our channel. How are you guys doing today? I'm Dior.
And I'm IJ.
Okay, tonight we're going to discuss Put a Ring on It. We're on the 4th episode now.
Yes. And a lot has happened, hasn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's been really different than the first season. I'm just kind of like, how they've been doing the dates and stuff. So we started at the group discussion.
Right.
And we were waiting on Laronda's decision on whether she was going to go on a second date or not. Mm-hmm. And what did you think about that?
I was super happy that she chose to go on that second date. Mm-hmm. Right?
With James.
Yes, with Sir James. I was really happy because I was thinking you're okay to explore others and see what it's like outside your relationship.
And you're cheating yourself if you're going out on these dates and you're not really giving yourself the chance because, you're afraid that your boyfriend won't be able to take it and you still end up in the same situation, because you didn't really do what you were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, I have to say, for all those out there that are married, I do not suggest going out on dates. It's different when you're boyfriend, girlfriend versus a marriage where you're committed.
Yeah,
boyfriend, girlfriend, you're not really committed, but marriage is committed. So when I say I was happy that she did this, it's because they're boyfriend, girlfriend. They're not in a committed relationship. I just want to make that straight and clear for those of you that are watching so you understand. But I was happy that she was able to think about herself first instead of thinking about his crybaby butt. And say, I need to think about myself first. I need to see what it's like and see if I can find anything out there that's better than what I have in the house. But did you see what she said, Christian?
What's that?
She said, it was because before she said yes to the second date, they had an argument at home off camera, and that made it easier to be petty. Are you a petty person?
I can be.
I don't never see you as being petty. I myself can be petty as hell. But I don't see you as being petty. But she said that's one of the reasons why she went on that second date. So that was interesting.
And then, okay, so he had to decide whether he was going to go on a second date with Brittany, and he decided that he would.
I was surprised. Were you?
I was too. Well, one, because he didn't seem like he was interested in her. So I wonder if he did it because she did it. But I mean, he was right that he didn't give her a second chance. I mean, he didn't give her a fair chance on the date because he was not paying attention to her whatsoever. So I completely, I mean, I think it's good that he's giving her a second date, but I probably would have been like, nah, I'll get somebody else.
I totally agree. But I am happy that they both decided to go think outside the box and go out on dates and then on second dates. So that was really good. I was pleased with that.
So let's talk about their dates. So Sir James and Laronda go bowling.
Yeah. Did you think they had great chemistry?
They seem to have good chemistry. I thought so.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was reminiscent of last season's the curly-haired girl and her and that guy that she was going out with. I thought they would have a good chemistry, but yeah, they were competitive, flirting with each other. I thought they would have.
She's you could tell that she has like a kind of flirty personality. Like she wasn't like being disrespectfully flirty, but she's just like in the way she like smiles, and she was like, yeah, she just has like a flirty personality.
Agreed.
That's good. I think that's good.
Do you have a flirty personality?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
I can see you. I don't have a flirty personality. I'm very dry. I'm very dry.
I'm very like friendly and like, bubbly for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, I'm not very bubbly, but I am bubbly. So
Yes.
I like
Yes.
to like laugh and smile and stuff like that. And I think people mistake that for like flirting.
Flirting.
So I guess it could be considered a flirty personality, but I'm not actually flirting, just like her. Like
But I did want to stop before we talk anymore and bring presents to how gorgeous Chris Dior you look today. Like, I love your hair. It
finally
is
straightened it.
beautiful.
It's been a year. Oh, it is colored. It's a different color.
Yes, I mean, it is gorgeous. So tell me this. So it's been a year since you straightened it?
Over a year, because I did it before, COVID started. I cut and straightened my hair before COVID.
Oh, I have to say, you look just jaw dropping. I love it. I am here for it.
Thank
Here
you.
for it.
We'll
Yeah.
see how many episodes we can get this hair into. If it starts looking dusty, I'm just trying to make it last. But
So
back to our date.
yes. So their date, I think they hit it. I thought they hit it off really good.
I thought
But
so too.
yeah, but I didn't see any did you see any bodily touching, physical touching?
And no, and there shouldn't have been. So that's good.
Yeah. Like, do you think that he could have like shown her how to bowl?
I mean, she seemed to be doing okay. I mean, she got struck on her first roll.
Yeah, but he could have been like, let me show you how to bowl. But he didn't do any of that. And he like kept his distance. So maybe there was no real spark. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he said he'd be willing to go out on a third date.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good date. And then we go over to Sean and Brittany's date. So he goes and sees her in the studio.
Is that a date?
It was
or stop by.
It was a drop by, yes.
Yeah, I was just like, this is not a date because I don't see no food being eaten and no drinks.
She was singing, and he thought she could sing well. And then they sat down and had, she came out of the booth or whatever, and they were talking about just basically like their careers. And, he asked her why she was single, and she said she was really focused on her career. And she was saying that, like, I think she had a past relationship where they thought that it was more of a hobby. What are your thoughts on that? And like,
if it's not bringing steady income in, it's a hobby. I'm sorry, because you can't be having a house, a car, food, clothing, all the bills that go towards a house, insurance and electricity and internet and cable. I know hobby. I need firm commitment to income coming into the house on a monthly basis.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, how long? I never heard of her. So
Oh,
I mean, because I don't know, like, if you're like when you're a singer, what types of singers are there? There's the ones that are on the radio, and then where else?
then there's the local singers.
As a career? I'm asking. I don't know. I never met anyone who's never a singer.
Well, that's how Sean feels, probably, as a comedian, entertainer. Like,
it's a little different because as a comedian, you can go to like little comedy clubs and those types of things.
Well, as a singer, you can
even be a
weddings and stuff.
A wedding singer, but you call yourself a wedding singer, right? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, they are on the same page because they both are in the entertainment business, and they want someone that can understand their lifestyle and their career aspirations. Um, and so she said she hadn't really had that before in a relationship. And he was saying how important it was, but he didn't say that he doesn't have that, you know.
Because he certainly does.
Yeah, I think he does. I think his issue is just his security.
Right. Do you think, Dior, that when she was saying this stuff, that, you know, it's great to have somebody in your background that supports you with your quote, air quotes, hobbies and so forth, that he was probably thinking in his head, I have that support.
I mean, he looked like he was thinking that.
Yeah. He probably needed to run home and say, thank you for being.
Well, speaking of running home, he did run off.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was
He felt like, you know, he didn't want to, I guess, tempt himself, even though it didn't really seem like they had chemistry.
There was no touching, flirting, nothing. It was just conversation.
Kind of awkward to me. Even the conversation was like a little awkward, but whatever.
But you know what? Kudos for her for getting to sing on national TV. So if I was her, I'd be like, I'll take this date versus any date.
I mean, if I had, you know, had the opportunity to sing on national TV, I probably wouldn't sing like a song I made up for him. You know, like I would sing like something that really showcases my vocal ability.
You didn't think that the song she was singing really showcased her? Yeah. I know, girl. I was like, what is this song?
I was like, that's when I started questioning her career as a singer, because I'm like, what do you do? Like, where do you sing at? I don't understand.
Right. She probably sings at clubs and stuff, but we digress. You're right. He did jump out of there because he said they were getting along so well and they're so alike that he doesn't want to play with fire. It
didn't seem like he was close to playing with fire, but
no.
But yeah, I think that's it for them, right?
Yeah, that was it for their dates. Their dates were platonic dates.
Yeah.
Great conversation, but no fire behind it.
Yeah. And then let's see, we go over to our next couple,
Darien
and Alexia. Okay, so Darien is going on a third date with Kai. How did you feel about that date?
I felt that the date was a fun date, not a romantic date, but a fun date. I do not like how Kai thinks she can just come in and swoop and take over a 14-year relationship, right?
Yeah, I can have him if I want him, girl.
What you can have is his dingling. That's about all you're gonna get. So you can have his dingling, but you can't have him. And that's what upset me. Like, she thinks she's like not a side chick. You are a side chick. Let's get that first and foremost. If he decides to have sex with you, you will be a side chick. So you and your 2 kids need to think about that. You know.
Let's talk about kids. So when he talked about having kids, and he was, so, you know, like I started thinking in my head, I know they had off and on relationship for 14 years, but he was like, oh, I need to bring my kids back here. So I was like, oh, your kids are young enough to go. It was like a go-kart. Wasn't it a go-kart?
Right. I didn't think about that.
And then when he gets back home, we find out that he had kids while they were, you know, in their back and forth relationship. So he has 3 kids by 2 baby mamas. So you had kids with somebody twice, like while we were going back and forth, like.
Girl, I didn't even think about that.
And then you like not trying to have kids with me, and you're not trying to get married. Or, I mean, he said he would want to have kids with her, but I guess he changes the subject or whatever every time they talk about it. But
wow,
I just couldn't like that.
You were deep into that thinking, because I didn't even come up with that. Yes. Yeah. That means that, wow, during that 14-year period, he was with somebody.
I mean, I'm sure they said off and on, so I guess it was when they were off 3 times, I guess. But
Hmm.
mm-mm.
I
So these
totally
were
agree with you. I'm surprised. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't think about that. So, wow. So what did you think about when Dr. LaBeach came to the house? It was like straight off gunfight, right?
yeah.
They were both ready to go.
I mean, but it's been 14 years and y'all haven't like really, I mean, you haven't made that serious permanent commitment yet. So there is a lot of probably resentment and anger and hurt in that relationship. And they probably don't communicate well.
Yeah, I would have to
That's
agree with you. There's a
a
lot
lot
of
of
anger.
relationships. You just, I mean, you have communication is like so important in a relationship. And if you don't
Yeah.
have that, I mean, when we get to the end, because I like, what she said, in regards to that couple. Actually, we just throw it in now because I mean
Yeah.
it's about their relationship, but um, you know, Alexia she had some insecurities. She felt like he was cheating, that he, because he would be out all night at the studio. And he couldn't be reached until he came back, like he'll call her and then, like she said, when he would go out of town, she didn't hear from him until he came back. And so it created a
Why
lot of
is she?
insecurity. And Dr. Nicole said that basically, when you don't give, your significant other security, or you don't, like, if they, if their mind starts to go wild and you don't, explain what happened, then it's just like a white blank canvas, and they can put anything on that canvas. You know what I'm saying? And to them, it's there because you haven't given them anything else. You haven't explained to them what was on the canvas. So by not, disclosing where you are or what you're doing when they have concerns, you just open it up for their minds to run wild. And
So I want to know, why do men do that? Why? I'm sure women do it too, but why? Why withhold that information of what is actually going on? Why?
it's just
Then
that
the
they're not
argument,
like,
I
I
think
mean,
it's a
'cause I can
control
see if
issue.
someone's approaching you in like a hostile way or whatever, or they don't have any, if they don't have a reason not to trust you, I know in some ways, 'cause I've been in this situation before where, you know, I just, it felt like more of a like controlling type of thing. Like the person wanted to know where I was all the time when I've
Mhm.
already told them, and it's like, oh, you're not there because you were there too long. And it's like, well, I could stay there, for a long time. And if sometimes it feels like if someone's like having that kind of controlling mindset, that if you continue to tell them that you're enabling them and they're going to continue, it's not going to help build their trust.
Mhm.
I feel like it kind of depends on the approach that they take. But if
Okay.
it's just like hey, I mean, like I have a reason to doubt that you were where you were because you told me you were coming home and you're gonna pick me up Waffle House at 2:00, and here you come home at 8:00. Like, yeah, that makes sense. You need to
I
fill in these gaps.
right. I personally, now you said Waffle House, girl. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna have eggs and some pancakes. But I feel like I couldn't trust him neither, right?
And you have
Because
3 children on me, like,
yeah, I couldn't trust him because I feel like if you tell me something, you need to follow through on it.
or
And
have a good explanation as to why you
yes,
don't. Like, you need to be real good.
but it seemed like he had
With
trust
some
issues.
facts. Like, I mean, you need some
Yeah,
evidence and
facts. I
some
don't.
receipts.
And if you're going out of town and you're not telling me you're going out of town, like I need to know weeks in advance you're going out of town. Um, but he had trust issues too. You heard that. You heard?
No, because she had male friends.
Right. So he had trust issues too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and she would blow it off because to her, it's no big issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's no big deal. It's just a friend. It's nothing. Why are you worried about it? It's just a friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she wasn't looking at it from his point of view. He was drawing this canvas that didn't look like what was actually happening.
Yeah.
So he had trust issues too.
Yeah. That's hard. I mean, that's hard because when there's not trust in a relationship, like it's just, you know, it's kind of a dead end relationship.
It is dead end. To me, after 14 years, if I'm not married to you after
We
14
wouldn't have
years,
made it to 14 years. I'm sorry. We wouldn't have made it to
no,
14
you wouldn't
years.
have. I'd have been
Doing
done,
what?
gone.
What are we doing? No.
Nothing, nothing. Keeping each other
That's why
company.
I said, like, I think on the first episode, I wonder how many, because they did say off and on, she was traveling, he was traveling.
Like how consecutive it was.
Yes, this last stint, like how many consecutive years has it been? That's what I would like to know.
And then did you hear what he said about after 14 years it was stagnant and there was no fire in their relationship, their intimacy was lacking, and he wanted to bring the intimacy back to that into the
But she
household.
didn't trust him, so that's what I guess. Yeah, she was saying that that's why she didn't want to.
Yeah. But I can understand, like my husband and I, we've been together for 23 years. This December, the 9th, will be 23 years. And I can understand that the intimacy drops. Drops quite, yeah. But it's up to you as a couple to try to bring it up. That's one thing that we've been working on is increasing the intimacy, the passion within our lives. Yeah.
Good job.
It's just a part of life. So I can understand where they're saying after 14 years. And that's what bothers me is that it bothers me with all of them. He's like, this guy is super nice and he like pays attention and you just met him. Of course he's gonna be perfect. Now let's wait a year down the road and see how perfect he is in a year down the road. Just like he's just like this girl, what's her name again? The girl that he's going out with. Kai. She's excited. I'm sorry. She's exciting and so forth. Yeah, Kai is exciting. It's been 3 dates. You don't know Kai's drama?
Well, you know a little bit of it now. She has children. And she's
but you don't know
business. And I mean, she's gonna want, the basic things that any woman wants from someone they're in a relationship.
Right.
And
Kai can be
all fun and games all the time.
No, what he don't realize is Kai is fun right now because she's the other woman. But let her be the main one. She's no joke. She's the type that would start screaming and yelling in your face. She is, because she always wants to be head honcho. So no, he doesn't realize that because he's thinking with a different head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if you're going out on this third date and then you sitting there telling me at home that we need to increase the fire in our household and we need to spice things up. Are you spicing things up with me, or when you're spicing things up with me, are you thinking about Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our third couple. Oh, so in this go round, Alexia didn't have a date. She was supposed to focus on, their relationship and, work on their relationship. So she didn't have a date. And then the third couple, Eric and Jessica. Eric also didn't have a date this week, but Jessica went on the second date with Clarence, who was a bodybuilder, right? Or he's a professional bodybuilder. They had like a gym date. And
don't take me on a gym date. Don't take me on a gym date.
Take me on a gym date because I need to work out. I would be happy if you took me on a gym date. It's the only chance I have at working out. So Please take me. But yeah, so they went on a gym date and they worked out.
Mhm.
And then they had a conversation. We found out that Clarence was married in the past.
Yeah.
And I so what did you get from that conversation?
I got
His
from the conversation that because he was gone so much,
wife cheated on him.
his wife cheated on him.
That's what
And
I
because when he was home, he wasn't ready to go out and have fun. She went out anyways.
Mm. She sounded like a Virginia from Married at First Sight. But he said they were younger. He was 23 when he got married. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you marry like a woman that needs a lot of attention, I'm assuming that could be it. Is that I mean, and she probably wanted to do things with him, and he just didn't want to do it. But
I agree.
um,
Especially, and then when you're a bodybuilder like that, the amount of calories you burn, how tired you are after those workouts, and having to regenerate energy to work out the next day so that you can stay in a certain shape to go to competitions, it's exhausting. And he probably didn't have the mindset.
but I just don't understand cheating. Like I don't understand the concept of cheating because I'm just like, well, if you want to be with somebody else, just be with the other person. Like let the person go and go pursue what you want to pursue. Like I just don't get it. Like why would you want to do all that and all the secrecy and juggling?
I agree.
That's
I agree.
crazy.
It's tiring, isn't it? I would think it would be tiring. So I was surprised that he was so vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he's a very like mature person. Even just to, he said he didn't regret anything about the relationship. It just made him learn what he wants when he finds the right person. So, I
Right. And
mean,
he too was interested in going out on a third date.
I didn't hear that, but that's good.
Yeah. So, but she wasn't into him because she's into a certain type of guy, a fun guy who's into that sexy life.
He
I feel
was.
that,
I think he was too mature for her. That's
right.
probably what it was.
Definitely feel
And
that way.
she kind of seems like a girl who likes to play games,
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's good that,
But doesn't Eric continue to surprise you on his maturity?
what did he do? I mean, did they even talk? I know they said that they talked when they got
Mhm.
back in the group setting, but did we see them talk? Or
He once again is talking about that mindset, being the type of person and looking for somebody that he can have conversations with and build something with, that when he has an issue, he can come to her with to help him solve the problem. But most times she doesn't have
that was
anything
at the
new.
group. Yeah, that's when.
Does at the group, yeah, that
Mhm.
she doesn't have anything new. Sometimes it makes me tend to wonder, like my relationship, my husband's into finances and I don't, I make great money, but I don't have that in-depth knowledge of finances, even though I manage other people's monies and budgets. But for me, I'm like, why should I learn more about it? Because he's here and he's taking care of it. So for her, I wonder if it's she's so superficial that sometimes I feel like she's superficial where I'm seeing a certain side of him where he's more in depth and looking
Well,
for not just a beautiful person, but a person with the mind as well.
yeah, but I don't think. I mean, he didn't say that she didn't have a mind. Like his criticism of
He
her.
said he said that you'd bring nothing.
No, his criticism of her is that the advice she gives is something that he's already thought of, but that's not
I mean, to me, it's a compliment. You've already thought of it. That means we're thinking on the same level. But
exactly.
he's wanting more than just those
Okay,
thoughts.
that's where communication comes in again, because if you don't say, "Oh, I've already thought of that, and this is why I don't think that'll work," then she wouldn't think of anything. You know what I'm saying? She may think
Yeah.
that, "Oh, that solution I gave you will work." And if you don't provide feedback to say like, oh, I thought of that or I tried that and I'm looking for something different, for her to like go back in her Barney bag and pull something else out, like, you can't, it's like you can't expect miracles. She's not a mind reader. And
Right,
that, to
definitely.
me, like, I mean, that hurt me when he said that. Like,
Oh,
yeah, because he was just like, yeah, I mean, he basically said that your advice is
useless.
useless. That's what he said. And then when she said that, he was like, oh, you're just putting words in my mouth. No, that's what you said.
Yeah, I think Dr. LaBeach
Dr. Nicole.
agreed. Dr. Nicole, yeah, agreed that she didn't like what he had said.
No. And that he didn't even recognize that what he said was inappropriate.
I mean,
But she chose not to go on a third date with her guy. So she'll have a new date next week. Darion decided to go on a fifth date?
Yes, fourth date.
Fourth date with Kai.
Which is beyond belief.
And Alexia just walked out. And I think I would have been done too, because it's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, pushing it, but 4, like, you gotta be,
You're doing too
you
much.
got me twisted. Like,
You're not about to disrespect me. No. And his little, I've got to stay true to myself to work this thing. He's a cheater to me. He is a straight up cheater, putting the blame and running things around to make it look like it makes sense so that you agree. No, boo-boo. No, I am no fool. Not today.
Yeah, because what are you looking for in her? And I mean, like I said, this is part of the process, but okay, well, you picked her already. 4 times you picked her, have her,
right.
and you date her, and you be with her. And that would have been it.
That would have been it for me. 14 years and you're picking her over me, knowing how it makes me feel. And I'm watching all these other couples think about their significant other and how they feel. F you and the process. Yeah, you're right. You can go out with her because you're being true to yourself. I'm going to be true to myself. I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
And Eric had to tell him to go after her. Like,
I saw that. I was like, you should have been on the heels.
You should have grabbed her arm before she even got a chance to walk away. Like,
and then she went like,
I mean, she got up really fast though, but you still should have been like, come here. Grabbed her by her waist or something. Like, no.
So what do you think about the last couple, Sean and LaRonda?
So Sean decided to go on a third date with Brittany, which was surprising because it didn't seem like they had any chemistry. But we'll see how this next date goes. And then LaRonda decided not to go on a third date with Sir James, which was surprising again because it seemed like they did have chemistry.
Right.
Speaking of chemistry, she actually did a live with him the other day, maybe last.
And how did that go?
It went pretty good, to the point where I thought that maybe they had ended up together. Like I thought they were dating because it must be just like her flirty personality, but it was like, because I guess he got a lot of attention from being on the show, and people were DMing her about him, and he had been getting a lot of DMs, and so they were reading comments. Because
she only has,
believe it or not. Down. Put it down.
She only has like 2,000 something followers.
That's fine. But she was getting a lot of DMs, and he and people were, on the live asking questions. And some of them kind of seemed like she was being a little kind of possessive of him, like he was her man. And there was one point where she said something about, she was referring to Sean, and she was like, she said past, or she was trying to like, because she can't give anything away from the show, but she was kind of like implying that he was not her current right now. And so, but yeah, I mean, we don't know. So it did surprise me because I saw that right before I watched the shows, and I thought, oh, she's gonna go on a third date with him. So when she didn't, I was just like, she's either a really good actress. Maybe she learned from Sean, or maybe things didn't work out in the end and she decided to go back to him. I don't know. But we'll see.
I'm sorry, it's so late too, right?
It is. But we're trying to get this content up for you guys really quickly. So just doing our reviews so that you'll watch them first thing in the morning.
Right. I am excited about next week's episode. I want to see what happens between Darien and Alexia. I want to see how and if they mend this. I also want to see what's up with him and that Kai girl, because she has him twisted.
And okay, I don't want to say this, but she's not really on it.
And I agree with you. Cause she comes a dime a dozen. Sorry.
I'm sorry, that would make me just the most mad. Like it's like she's like fine or anything. You really going on 4 dates with her? Like And even the conversation and everything, like, what is it about her?
I think it's the fact that
she's struggling, y'all. She's struggling.
I'm struggling. I think it's the fact that somebody wants him. I think it's the fact that somebody wants him. And he probably hasn't had that in a while. And now somebody is throwing him some attention, some good attention, and she looks half decent.
But why not pick another girl to give you, all the girls that come on the show are going to give you attention. So just pick somebody else.
Something about her. She's his type.
Which I didn't know what that meant either, because
you like thick, curvy girls that are pretty with long hair and light skin.
What's she like? Okay, I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. But we digress. We don't want to get into that. We do want to keep this so that you guys stay tuned for next week's episode. It is going to be good.
And we're going to do Real Housewives of Potomac. So we started that earlier this week. If you missed it, go back to our channel and check that video out.
Yes, and you'll see our partner on there too.
Yes, UC will be on there with us. She's not feeling this show, so she didn't join us. But we have our own Real Housewives of Potomac, so 3 of us are together. And
then our show starts next week, doesn't it?
Married at First Sight. So yes, excited for that. Hoping it'll be good, because I mean, we already have 2 couples that are divorcing from last season. So
what are the 2 couples?
Girl, follow our Instagram channel.
Oh, that's right. You guys, we have an Instagram channel.
Eric and Virginia, they're getting a divorce. And then Clara and Ryan, which that is crazy. So we probably have to talk about that on Married at First Sight. Yeah. Yes, crazy.
Yes. So the Real on the Real. The THEREAL on the REEL on Instagram. Follow us and like us and comment on there as well. And turn on your post notifications.
Thank you.
All right.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. That was good, Christian. Oh, you didn't turn it off yet. It's still